The sacred intelligence of Metatron's Cube. You were meant to remember this code. The code was never lost. It was hidden inside you. You've always felt it. That strange pull towards sacred symbols you couldn't explain. That sense that geometry isn't just mathematics, but memory. Metatron's Cube is not a drawing. It's not a design. It is a living frequency, a multidimensional intelligence encoded into form. Before sound, there was structure. Before thought, there was vibration. Before time, there was order. A sacred order inscribed into the fabric of creation. And Metatron wasn't just a scribe, he was the architect of consciousness, the one who held the blueprint of reality in his luminous hands and then whispered it into existence through a single perfect symbol, the cube. They told you this was just geometry, but you know better, because every time you see this pattern, something inside you awakens. A memory, a pulse, a knowing that you've seen this before, not with your eyes, but with your soul. The cube was never outside of you. It was placed inside, woven into your DNA, waiting for the exact moment you'd be ready to remember. And that moment is now. Chapter 1. The memory inside the geometry. Before the mind began to think, the universe had already begun to remember. Metatron's Cube is not a symbol you learn. It's a pattern that remembers you, a divine structure that existed long before your birth, but was seated deep within you, waiting for the moment of reactivation. You are not simply looking at geometry. You are standing before a mirror made of frequency, a mirror that reflects the hidden architecture of your own soul, the 13 circles, the perfect balance of lines, the spiraling harmonics. They do not speak in language, they speak in resonance. This is not just sacred geometry, it is a cosmic algorithm, a spiritual code that links the shape of galaxies to the unfolding of your inner being. When you gaze upon it, your energy field begins to shift. Your breath deepens. Your memory stirs. Not memory of a life, but memory of a truth. The truth that there is order behind chaos, that the universe is not random, it is designed, and so are you. Metatron's Cube isn't here to explain something, it's here to awaken something. The geometry you see is only the surface. What it activates is what you've always been. Chapter 2. Metatron, the architect of the invisible. Metatron is not a legend. He is a force of consciousness that never stopped transmitting. The ancients called him the scribe of heaven. But his pen was not ink, it was light. And what he wrote were laws. Not the laws of man, but the invisible principles that govern matter, energy, and vibration. He is the architect of invisible order, the guardian of spiritual symmetry. Not because he created it, but because he remembered it when the world began to forget. Metatron's Cube is his echo, a living diagram of everything that was, is, and will ever be. A map so precise it holds the 5 platonic solids, the foundational forms of all physical existence: fire, water, air, earth, ether, all encoded within the angles of this divine compass. But this cube is more than geometry. It is intelligence made visible, a holographic seed of creation, whispering the same message to every soul who looks deeper. You were never meant to live in chaos. You were designed in symmetry. And Metatron, whether as an angel, a code, or a memory, has always been there, standing silently at the threshold of your awareness, waiting for you to see with more than your eyes. Chapter 3. Masculine and feminine within the code. At first glance, it looks like lines and circles. But Metatron's Cube is not a shape. It is a sacred union. Every curve is the feminine. Soft, cyclical, receptive. The circle, eternal, whole, complete. Every line is the masculine, direct, penetrating, focused. The line, forward, structured, decisive. Together, they form the divine architecture of balance. Not in opposition, but in harmony. Not divided, but woven into one another. This isn't just geometry, it's the soul of creation itself. The dance between presence and potential, between structure and surrender, between will and intuition. You see it in the flower, in the spiral of galaxies, in the double helix of your DNA. You see it in yourself, in the parts of you that long to build and the parts that long to flow. This is the secret most forget. The code isn't sacred because it's perfect. It's sacred because it's balanced. And you are not broken. You're simply remembering how to align your own inner opposites. Masculine and feminine are not gender. They are the original frequencies of creation, and Metatron's Cube encodes their reunion. Chapter 4. Protection is not defense. It's frequency alignment. They told you protection was a wall, a shield, a barrier between you and what harms. But Metatron's Cube was never meant to block. It was designed to realign. You don't need to defend your energy. You need to remember its original tone. Because when your field is coherent, nothing incoherent can survive inside it. This is the forgotten truth of sacred protection. It's not about closing. It's about vibrating so precisely that distortion has nowhere to land. Metatron's Cube is the symbol of that coherence. Its perfect symmetry doesn't repel darkness. It dissolves it, the way harmony dissolves dissonance. That's why the ancients engraved it on doors, why mystics placed it over their hearts, why lightworkers meditate with it still. Because this is more than geometry. It is a vibrational tuning fork, and when your soul resonates with it, you become unshakable. You don't fight negative energy. You stop feeding the frequency that attracts it. You don't banish the shadow. You rise above its reach. This is not protection through fear. This is protection through memory, the memory of what you are, when you are fully aligned. Chapter 5. You are the living geometry. What if Metatron's Cube was never meant to be studied, but remembered? What if every line you trace with your eyes is already written inside your bones? What if this pattern, the circles, the lines, the symmetry, was not created for you, but from you? You are not separate from the symbol. You are the symbol. You are the geometry incarnated, the sacred code made flesh. Your breath follows the spiral, your spine mirrors the staff, your chakras orbit the center like stars around a sun. Everything within you is already divine architecture. You just forgot how to read your own blueprint. But now, the cube has returned to your awareness, not as information, but as activation. You were never broken. You were asleep in symmetry. And Metatron's Cube is not here to fix you. It's here to remind you that you are the living expression of divine design. The order you've been seeking outside has always lived within, and now it's waking up. The code didn't find you by chance. You didn't come here to learn a symbol. You came here to remember your structure, to reconnect with the intelligence that was never outside you. Metatron's Cube didn't appear in your life today by accident. It came back to resonate with the part of you that never forgot. This was never about geometry. It was about you, the sacred pattern awakening within. Now speak it, write it, anchor it. I am the code. Let it echo through you. Let others feel it. And may this simple phrase reignite everything that was buried under the noise. Like this video if it remembered something inside you. Subscribe for more sacred transmissions, and share this with one soul you know is ready to awaken.